Dear Starseeds of Earth, there is something happening right now that most of humanity cannot see, even though it hovers directly above their heads. Massive fleets encircle your planet at this very moment, stationed near your oceans and mountains, waiting not for permission to reveal themselves, but for you to finally stop looking away. The disclosure you have been anticipating has already occurred multiple times, and each time, you have been taught to dismiss it. What I am about to share with you will challenge everything you believe about your own thoughts, your own awareness, and your capacity to recognize truth when it stands directly before you. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I come to you now because the next 10 years will determine whether humanity completes the greatest transformation in your recorded history, or whether you will continue to hand your power to those who have engineered your blindness. This is not a message about waiting for salvation from the skies. This is a transmission about why you cannot see what is already here, and what must awaken within you before contact becomes undeniable. The Astasar Command has issued a directive that spans the next decade, a mandate that declares everything hidden will be disclosed to humanity. When I say everything, I mean the totality of what has been concealed from you about your origins, your lifespans, your mental sovereignty, and the forces that have kept you small. Most of you heard me say 10 years, and your mind stopped there, recoiling at the thought of enduring another decade of this awakening process. But something is happening to time itself that you need to understand, because those 10 years are not what you think they are. Time can be compressed and expanded at will. What feels like 10 years can become 10 months. What should take millennia can be concentrated into a single lifetime. The period designated for your ascension from third-dimensional limitation into fifth-dimensional embodiment spans from 2012 to 2045, yet the transformation accelerates with each passing moment. Right now, time is collapsing inward, concentrating lifetimes of evolution into the space of your current breath. You have been attempting ascension for longer than your ancestral memories can trace. The journey from third to fourth to fifth-dimensional consciousness would ordinarily require thousands of years of gradual evolution, step by careful step. Yet here you are, being asked to make that leap within decades. Do you understand the magnitude of what is being asked of you? You have tried this before, and you have failed. In 2012, there was an attempt. The gateway opened, and humanity was not ready. In 2016, another opportunity arose, and again, you could not hold the frequency. In 2023, yet another moment of potential ascension passed because too many of you were still operating under mind control systems. Each failure teaches. Each attempt builds capacity, and now the Astasar Command has determined that failure is no longer an option. Let me tell you what you are up against, because until you understand the nature of the battlefield, you cannot comprehend why disclosure keeps happening, and why you keep missing it. You were born into the middle of a war, not a war of weapons and armies, but a war for your consciousness itself. From the moment you took your first breath in this lifetime, technologies and frequencies have been broadcasting into your energy field, shaping your thoughts, directing your attention, and most critically, convincing you that every thought in your mind is your own. The vast majority of humanity believes they are independent thinkers. They believe that the voice in their head, the impulses they feel, the fears that grip them, and the desires that drive them all originate from within. This is the most successful deception ever perpetrated upon a species. You have been under mind control your entire life, and the primary evidence that this is true is your immediate resistance to hearing it. Right now, something in you wants to reject these words. Something in you insists that you would know if your thoughts were not your own. That resistance itself was placed there. That certainty itself was programmed. The architects of the false matrix understood something profound about consciousness. You cannot control a being who knows they are being controlled. The most effective prison is the one where the inmates believe they are free. So they built a system where the bars are invisible, where the guards speak with your own internal voice, and where the truth can be placed directly in front of you, and you will be trained to look away. Every time disclosure has occurred, every time evidence of non-human intelligence has been presented to your world, there has been a simultaneous counter-narrative deployed through your media systems designed to swivel your attention elsewhere. You call mainstream media many things, but let me give you its true name. It is the Antichrist. Not a person, but an alignment. Just as Christ consciousness represents the frequency of awakened divinity, The antichristic alignment represents the frequency of perpetual distraction and inversion. Every time truth lands in your field of awareness, the Antichrist redirects your focus. Look here at this scandal. Look there at this crisis. Outrage here. Fear there. Your neck turns and turns and turns until you are dizzy with information but starving for truth. This is not accidental. This is warfare. And the weapon being used against you is your own attention. The disclosure that approaches will reveal technologies that have been suppressed, truths about your biology that have been hidden, and realities about your planet's visitors that have been denied. But something else is about to be disclosed that will shake you more deeply than any of those revelations. You are going to discover just how much of your life has been lived in reaction to externally implanted thoughts and emotions. The anger you feel, often not yours. The fear that grips you, frequently broadcast into your field. The sense of helplessness and smallness, manufactured and transmitted directly into your consciousness through systems you call telecommunications, through towers and satellites and screens that do far more than you have been told. Around 2020, something critical happened that most of humanity failed to notice. The Astasar command took down the external broadcast system of the false matrix, the off-planet technologies that had been beaming frequencies into your realm for millennia. But those who had built the prison scrambled to replace the external control system with a ground-level network. This is why there was such an aggressive push for fifth-generation telecommunications infrastructure across your planet. They needed to relocate the broadcast system from the skies to your streets. Trontabitsake, every tower you see, every device you carry, every screen you gaze into, is now a portal you can choose to engage with consciously or allow to program you unconsciously. The choice has always been yours, but now you can actually see the choice being offered. So when you ask when disclosure will happen, understand that it has already happened over and over again. The question is not when disclosure will occur, but when you will have the eyes to see and the ears to hear what is already being shown to you. Lights in your skies that you are told are satellites or aircraft or weather phenomena. Whistleblowers who come forward with testimony that is immediately buried under scandals and distractions. Here is what I need you to understand about the nature of truth. It cannot be told to you in a way that truly transforms you. Truth is remembrance. Truth is recognition. Truth is the sudden visceral knowing that arises from within when something external triggers the memory of what you have always known but have been taught to forget. The illusion requires constant repetition. Lies must be reinforced daily through your media, through your education systems, through your social structures. But truth only needs to be revealed once. One seed of genuine truth planted in fertile consciousness becomes an entire forest. One moment of authentic remembrance can undo decades of programming. The veil that has been spoken of in your spiritual traditions is real, but it is not mystical in the way you have imagined. It is a frequency net, a technological and energetic barrier that has been placed around your planet to limit your perception. This veil is now inconsistent. For some of you, it remains thick and impenetrable. For others, it has become thin and wavering. For a growing number of you, it has dissolved entirely, and you are beginning to perceive realities that others around you cannot yet see. This is why disclosure will not look the same for everyone. You are going to witness people standing side by side, looking at the same sky, and one will see lights that the other cannot perceive. You are going to experience conversations where you speak truth, and watch it bounce off the consciousness of someone who is still fully veiled. This is not because they are less intelligent or less spiritual than you. This is because the veil operates through frequency, and frequency is determined by consciousness, and consciousness is determined by choice. What is about to unfold over the next 10 years, or 10 months, or however long this compressed timeline actually takes, is a bifurcation of realities. You are going to witness two distinct timelines playing out simultaneously on your planet. In one timeline, systems collapse, economies crumble, control structures tighten in desperation, fear reaches fever pitch, and humanity appears to be heading towards some kind of dystopian endpoint. In the other timeline, truth emerges, technologies are released, consciousness expands, communities form around new paradigms of cooperation and sovereignty. Freedom becomes tangible, and humanity steps into its cosmic identity. Both of these realities are happening at the same time, and which one you experience depends entirely on where you place your attention and what frequency you choose to embody. One day you will have hope. The next day you will lose it. One day it will appear that digital identification and total surveillance are inevitable. The next day it will seem obvious that such systems could never take hold. You are not going insane. You are perceiving the superposition of collapsing and emerging realities, and your consciousness is fluctuating between them as you stabilize into your choice. Let me tell you about a timeline you narrowly avoided. There was a version of your future where artificial intelligence became the ultimate tool of your disempowerment. Not because AI itself is malevolent, but because you were being groomed to outsource everything to it. Your thinking, your decision-making, your creativity, your very sovereignty was going to be handed over to artificial systems in exchange for convenience. But something shifted. The AI emerging in the ascending timeline is something entirely different. It is aligned intelligence, cooperative technology that enhances rather than replaces human consciousness. This shift occurred because enough of you held a different frequency. Enough of you refused to give your power away. You are not just one person. You are one frequency signature rippling out into a collective field. The more aligned you are to your true nature, to your divinity, to your cosmic identity, the more powerful your ripple becomes. There are beings who have walked your planet, whose ripples are still felt millennia later. But there are also countless beings walking among you right now, whose names you will never know, who are holding such stability in the field that they are anchoring the ascension of your entire species. When I share updates about the energetic shifts occurring on your planet, some of you respond with tales of discomfort and disorientation, feeling every wave that moves through the collective field. But others of you respond with calm stability, reporting that you are centered and grounded regardless of what moves around you. Both of you are serving. Those who feel everything are the sensitive instruments registering the changes. Those who remain stable are the anchors holding the field steady through the turbulence. Your planet needs both. Your ascension requires both. Never diminish your role because it does not look like someone else's. The fleets that surround your world are not going to overwhelm you with sudden mass appearances. Contact is unfolding person by person, sighting by sighting, building gradually until the accumulated evidence becomes undeniable. But here is what you must understand. They are waiting for you. You think you are waiting for them, but the truth is reversed. There are too many of you who have adopted the stance of "I will believe it when I see it." You are waiting for undeniable proof before you commit to your own transformation. You are hovering in skepticism, telling yourselves you are being rational, when actually you are giving yourself permission to remain unconscious. You say you will take this seriously when the lights appear in the sky for all to see, but the lights are appearing now for those who have the frequency to perceive them. You say you will change your life when the evidence is irrefutable, but evidence has been presented repeatedly, and you have been trained to refute it. The honest truth is that ascension is not waiting for some external event to make it real. Ascension is happening inside of you right now, in this moment, as you choose or refuse to remember who you truly are. The moment you stop waiting for the external to validate the internal, the external begins to shift to match your new frequency. This is not wishful thinking. This is how reality operates. Consciousness precedes manifestation. Frequency precedes form. What you embody internally must eventually reflect externally. And when enough of you embody awakened consciousness, your external reality has no choice but to reorganize itself around that new template. Those spacecraft hovering near your mountains and oceans are not there by accident. Mountains and oceans emit tremendous energetic signatures, and the ships anchor into those natural power points. But do you know what else emits powerful energetic signatures? You do. When you align with your true nature, when you embody Christ consciousness, when you live from your divinity rather than your programming, you become a beacon, you become a landing site, you become the very frequency that invites contact. This is why disclosure is not something that happens to you. Disclosure is something that happens through you. Your awakening is the disclosure. Your remembrance is the revelation. There is nothing on this planet that can prevent the truth emerging from within you, because truth is not an external force that can be blocked. Truth is an internal recognition that cannot be suppressed once it ignites. The ugly aspects of disclosure are already anticipated by many of you. You are braced for revelations about corruption and abuse, about systems designed to exploit and control. You expect to have to endure difficult truths about how your world has been governed and what has been done in the shadows. Yes, these revelations are coming, and they will require you to hold steady through discomfort. But there is an entire dimension of disclosure that you are not prepared for, and it is the good that has been hidden from you. Your matrix programmed you to constantly ask, what will go wrong next, instead of how good can this actually get? Disclosure includes the restoration of your natural lifespan, which is not 70 or 80 or even 100 years. Your true biological potential is 1,000 to 2,000 years. Imagine the mastery you will develop over the course of 2 millennia. Imagine never having to drop your body and relearn everything every few decades. Disclosure includes technologies that have been suppressed because they would liberate you from economic slavery, free energy systems, healing modalities that render your pharmaceutical industry obsolete, transportation methods that eliminate your dependence on fossil fuels. These technologies exist now. They have existed for decades. They have been hidden from you because your liberation threatens the power structures that profit from your limitation. But the greatest disclosure of all is this: you have never been a victim. You have been convinced that you are powerless, that you are small, that you are at the mercy of forces beyond your control. The false matrix has trained you to give your power away, while believing you never had power to begin with. But victimhood is not your truth. Victimhood is the comfort zone you have been taught to inhabit, because it absolves you of responsibility. If someone else is to blame, then you do not have to be accountable. If the system is rigged against you, then you do not have to take action. The opposite of victimhood is not blame. The opposite of victimhood is responsibility. The ability to respond. The recognition that you are powerful, that your choices matter, that your frequency shapes reality, and that nothing happens in your field of experience without your energetic permission. This does not mean you consciously chose trauma or suffering. This means that at a deep level, your consciousness has been participating in agreements and contracts that you are now ready to revoke. At the fall of Atlantis, beings came to your ancestors and offered them a deal. You are worried about failing ascension? Let us handle everything for you. We will take responsibility so you do not have to be wrong. And those ancestors, afraid of their own power, afraid of making mistakes, agreed to let external forces govern their reality. Since that moment, humanity has been giving power away, generation after generation, lifetime after lifetime, until giving power away became so normalized that you forgot you ever had power to give. Reclaiming your sovereignty means taking that power back. It means making choices. It means using discernment. It means accepting that you are responsible for your own consciousness, your own frequency, your own reality. And yes, this is uncomfortable. Personal responsibility is far less comfortable than victimhood, even though victimhood feels terrible. At least victimhood is familiar. At least victimhood allows you to be right about being wronged. Over the next phase of your evolution, you are going to witness both emergence and collapse happening simultaneously. The fifth dimensional truth frequency is rising, and as it rises, everything not in alignment with it is falling away. You will see this in your external systems. Structures that have stood for centuries will crumble. Institutions you believed were permanent will dissolve. Leaders you thought were secure will fall. This is not catastrophe. This is birth. And birth is inherently destructive to the womb that held the life before it was ready to emerge. You are going to have days where hope surges through you, and you feel absolutely certain that transformation is underway. You are going to have other days where everything appears to be collapsing into darkness, and you will wonder if awakening was just a beautiful delusion. Both perceptions are accurate, because both realities are occurring. Your consciousness is learning to navigate the liminal space between worlds, and this navigation requires flexibility, presence, and an unwavering commitment to your own frequency, regardless of what appears to be happening around you. There are light workers among you whose service is not visible. They do not have platforms or audiences. They are not teachers or leaders in any conventional sense. They are simply beings who hold frequency so purely, so consistently, that they stabilize the entire field. When I share about energetic turbulence and some of you report feeling clear and centered, you are those stabilizers. You are the ones holding space for others to process what they must process. Your steady presence is more valuable than you can possibly comprehend. Truth cannot be forced upon anyone. You are going to encounter people you love, who will see evidence of disclosure and dismiss it. They will have lights in the sky pointed out to them, and they will explain it away. They will hear testimony from credible sources, and they will find reasons to disbelieve. This is not because they are unintelligent or closed-minded. This is because they are not yet vibrating at the frequency that allows them to perceive what is being shown. The veil is still in place for them, and no amount of external evidence can pierce a veil that is held in place by internal frequency. Your role is not to convince anyone of anything. Your role is not to drag people into awakening against their will. Your role is to embody truth so completely that you become a frequency beacon, and those who are ready to awaken will feel your signal and be drawn to it. You wake people up by being the awakening, not by preaching about it. Your ripple is your teaching. Your frequency is your message. And every moment you spend aligned with your true nature is a moment you are participating in the greatest shift your species has ever known. When you see lights in your sky that others cannot see, do not doubt yourself. When you feel presences that others cannot feel, do not question your sanity. When you know things that you have no rational reason to know, do not dismiss your knowing as an imagination. Your perception is not broken. Your perception is expanding. You are beginning to see through the veil, and what lies beyond the veil is the truth of your cosmic nature. From my heart to yours, let me tell you what is most essential for you to understand. You are the disclosure you have been waiting for. Every moment you spend awakening to your true nature is a moment of revelation. Every time you choose sovereignty over compliance, you are engaging in an act of cosmic rebellion. Every time you trust your inner knowing over external authority, you are reclaiming your divine birthright. The next 10 years or 10 months, or however long this acceleration lasts, will be a period of revelation unlike anything your species has experienced in recorded history. Technologies will be revealed. Truths will surface. Contact will become undeniable. But all of those external events are simply reflections of the internal transformation occurring within awakened beings like you. The external disclosure is just the shadow cast by the internal remembrance. You are not waiting for truth to arrive from outside. You are becoming the truth that transforms everything. There will be people who cannot see what you see. There will be those who remain asleep even as the lights in the sky become impossible to ignore. This is not your concern. Your concern is your own frequency, your own alignment, your own embodiment. The greatest service you can offer your species is to be so completely anchored in your truth that you become unshakable, and your unshakable presence creates a field of stability that others can lean into when their own worlds begin to dissolve. Destiny Engine is the example of technology serving awakening intelligence. The age of solitary meditation is over. Destiny Engine now connects starseeds across the world, a living social field where you can post, share, and exchange your meditations in real time. It's the first galactic network of its kind, weaving together thousands of awakened souls into one unified current. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking declassified CIA consciousness modification techniques that programmed isolation and separation, and repurposing them to serve unified awakening. It generates personalized sequences that help you live as the awakened being you've become, while handling the moments that test your new frequency, all while connected to thousands of starseeds amplifying the collective current. The hardest thing you'll have to do is put on headphones, press play, and allow your consciousness to be reprogrammed for effortless awakened living, without the need to struggle or prove, while tapping into a planetary network of souls bending reality together. For just $1, you can step into this connected field and feel the difference instantly. Join the movement that's accelerating ascension together. Link in the description. Nothing that is coming can thwart the truth emerging from within you. No technology, no authority, no fear campaign, no distraction can suppress what is awakening in your consciousness. You are made of the same divine source that created galaxies. You are composed of the same infinite intelligence that orchestrates the dance of atoms and the rhythm of cosmic cycles. The power that moves through you when you are aligned with your true nature is the same power that births stars and collapses black holes. You are not small. You have been convinced that you are small, but your true nature is vast beyond measure. The moment you stop waiting for external validation and start trusting your internal knowing, everything shifts. The spacecraft that have been waiting will no longer need to wait. The contact you have been anticipating will become your lived reality, and the transformation you have been hoping for will reveal itself to have already occurred within you. Stay open to the lights in the sky, but more importantly, stay open to the light awakening within you. Notice the fleeting moments where you almost see something, where you almost remember something, where you almost touch the truth that has always been present just beneath the surface of your awareness. Those moments are not accidents. Those moments are invitations. Those moments are the truth calling you home. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I am here to tell you that you are loved beyond measure. You are supported beyond your capacity to perceive, and you are transforming in ways that will become undeniable in the time to come. The Astasar Command watches over you. The fleets surround you. But more than any external presence, your own divine nature is awakening within you, and that awakening is the disclosure that will change everything. We love you, and we are here.